Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today we're going to be talking about the Spine Chill controversy, because there's been a lot of things happening with Spine Chill lately that have been both good and bad, and then good again, and then maybe we could do more regarding the Spine Chill situation. So let's go ahead and break down what is happening. So, if you remember, in the 40 perk chain, Spine Chill did get a nerf. It had its vault speed removed, but it also narrowed it down to a line of sight requirement for Spine Chill to activate. Now, the reason that this is a major issue is because this perk is primarily used by the deaf and hard of hearing community to be able to supplant the fact that they cannot hear the tear radius or have a hard time hearing the tear radius. The tear radius is the main way that most players are able to determine how far away the killer is or if they're right up on you. So obviously, if you're in the deaf or hard of hearing community, you have troubles or the inability outright to hear the tear radius, meaning that you are playing at a disadvantage for something that's not even your fault, which sucks. So Spine Chill is kind of a way to subvert this, because Spine Chill lets you know if the killer was nearby or looking at you and they were coming towards you without necessarily needing to hear the tear radius itself. However, obviously, if you limit that down to a line of sight only, the killer could quite literally be right on top of you, right on the other side of the wall, and you would not get Spine Chill to go off. And essentially, you'd be punished for something that you have no control over, which is really stupid. So yesterday on the live stream, they announced that they were going to be reworking Spine Chill again. Now, that won't be ready for the PTB that's going to be happening today, that I will also be making a video on, that'll come out tomorrow. Very busy time for DVD. But they decided to rework the perk on the live stream when it goes live. They have switched it from having line of sight be the only thing that procs it to making tear radius specifically proc it. So if you are able to hear the tear radius, you are going to be getting Spine Chill. Now, the line of sight situation will only apply to the actual boost that you get. So like if you're getting like door speed or gen speed, that the line of sight will be relegated specifically to earning that benefit to that situation. However, Spine Chill will still work, and now it is specifically tied to tear radius, since that is what the people in that community used it for, and actually led them to being able to play the game at least somewhat like other people are able to play the game, which I think is a really good change. It's a really smart change, because it plays specifically to the aid of people who used it for that specific use. However, I would say even further that we could do better. Why is it that if you are deaf or hard of hearing, that you have to use a perk slot used up to play the game like everybody else? You can't help that you're deaf and hard of hearing. Why do you have to waste an entire perk slot to be able to play the game like everybody else, or even close to like everybody else? Doesn't that seem kind of stupid? Doesn't that seem kind of dumb? That you have to always have this perk slot locked down because of something that you can't help? I think that sounds really awful and unfair, that you have to always have that slot used up. I think that's really silly. So with that, I turn you to the DBD mobile team. I remember Heather was getting a surgery to get a cyst removed, and I remember being really bored in that waiting room, because it was like really quiet, and everybody was very I remember being really quiet and awkward in that waiting room, because it was just super silent. It's like you could hear a pin drop. Like somebody would cough and it would like echo really loudly. It was a spooky environment. It was very like quiet. So to pass the time, I actually downloaded DBD Mobile. And I started playing it on my phone while I waited for Heather to get out of her surgery. So obviously the people who designed DBD Mobile kept in mind that they would be in situations like mine, where I would probably be in a quiet area and I would not be able to use audio to be able to hear what is going on in the game. So to circumvent this and things like the tear radius, they put in a visual heart inside of the survivor, which turns on when the tear radius is active. So when a killer comes into your tear radius, your heart appears inside your character, like a little red heart, and based on how close the killer gets to you, that heartbeat starts to visually beat faster and faster until the killer is directly on top of you. And when you're not in tear radius, you just don't have that. So so I was still able to play the game in this very quiet waiting room and run from the killer and evade the killer perfectly with no sound whatsoever. And I feel like that would just be a wonderful thing to add to the DBD base game, to lift that from DBD Mobile and put it in the DBD base game. If you're worried about like, well, I play the game and I'm perfectly fine, I don't want to deal with that, then just make it a toggle. That way, if you need it, you turn it on, and if you don't, you just leave it off and you don't worry about it. Either way, I think it would be really, really nice, because I think it's kind of crappy that if you are deaf or hard of hearing, you have to have Spine Chill equipped and not run full perk loadouts that you'd want, because you need to rely on that perk. If you added the heartbeat situation from the mobile game, you can just turn on the toggle and run 4 perks just like anybody else. And I think that's the most fair way to go about going about this situation, instead of like forcing people to run a specific perk because of something that they can't help. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today, guys. What do you think about the Spine Chill changes? It's been through a lot, and it's probably going to, hopefully it stays the way it is, but it might continue to go through even more changes before the live release of this mid-chapter. Man, this has been a very a turbulent time for DBD. So let me know what you feel about the Spine Chill changes down below. And other than that, I will see you in tomorrow's video, friends. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.